blessing. If you can just see beyond the veils, come on in, come on in, come on in. It's another powerful rendition of revolutionary voodoo, New Orleans voodoo secrets and recipes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm back. I survived the storm. I am indeed better than ever. And I look forward to meeting you momentarily here in this shared sacred space. Come on in, come on in. All is a blessing. All is a blessing. All is a blessing. Greetings, diverse training services, marketing. Greetings, beloved. All is a blessing. Welcome, welcome. And golden rain are waiting for you once again. Yes. I'm longing for my family coming back to you. Out of bondage and now I am free. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Only the serious need apply. Greetings and salutations, one and all. Come on in. Come on in. Come back home to Africa. The fatted calf and golden rain are waiting for you once again. Coming back to you. Greetings, greetings. Come on in, come on in. All is a blessing. I will open my camera momentarily. All is a blessing. Come on in, Cola Baskin. Come on in. You know you can't hide your footprint online. I know exactly who you are, Cola Baskin. Danisha Harris, greetings, beloved, greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome. Chef Bougie, thank you so much for you and yours. I'm certainly appreciative. Nina Lloyd, the beloved and faithful Nina Lloyd, greetings, greetings. All is a blessing, all is a blessing. You'll see my face momentarily. I'm coming through. All is a blessing. Greetings, Blue Sage, beloved. Angel, Angel, greetings, beloved. Greetings and salutations to you and yours. I know it's been a minute. Got many updates. Have a few announcements I'm going to make. Greetings, greetings. Come on in, greetings. All is a blessing. Come back home to Africa. Come back home. Come back home to Africa. Come back home. Greetings, greetings. All is a blessing. All is a blessing. Welcome, welcome. Greetings, greetings. Welcome. Thank you so much. I certainly do appreciate you. I welcome you. I acknowledge and honor you all. And as always, I start by saying, Yeshua leguana kosi were. Awo onlo uto ne iwo ada afan bo osi. Obatalami ita ne ebo onilio abane shu. Eshu is the respected elder who flogs, confronts, and uncovers fools. Cola Baskin. He uses, Eshu is a respected elder who flogs, confronts, and uncovers fools. The one versed in mysteries uses truth to own you. He causes scatter to feed poverty. Obatala shakes rascals to have sacrifice. The owner of warnings is the one who is Eshu. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Ashe. May Ebo reach a room. May Ebo be accepted. may I ever allow what we desire to come to pass. And so we say, Ashe, Ashe, oh, Ashe. I can't tell you how excited I am to be back with you here again in this shared sacred space. Oh, I know some of you didn't think I was coming. Some of you thought I was distracted. Indeed, the work has been going on and has continued. I am forever grateful, truly grateful for this community, this audience, my godchildren, my family, my initiates, my students, and indeed my clients. I am here to share with you, as always, in divine peace and love, joy and prosperity, elevation, revelations, and manifestation. And you are now listening again and sitting live with the Divine Prince, Pan-African spiritualist, practitioner, author, and advisor, Elagun Oloye Hoodoo Obeah Bokur, sharing with you in all things spiritual, mystical, metaphysical, cosmic, evolutionary, revolutionary, healing, and holistic from a Pan-African Hoodoo world spiritualist perspective. Understanding that all is truly and indeed a blessing. If you can just see beyond the veils, for it is all just an illusion and a test in one of the greatest divine mysteries of this life cycle. This is indeed my constant prayer, my mantra, affirmation, reverberation, reiteration, and it is my ever-living reality. All is a blessing is crucial to my very foundation, my walk, my works, my demonstration along this divine, all-blessed life path and journey. And it is indeed the place from where I begin and end and realize and crystallize all my endeavors, understanding that ultimately I and I alone create and co-create my divine destiny, and I alone create and co-create my divine all-blessed reality. And so it is, Ashe. That means no matter what the weather, no matter what the fan or frenemy or enemy, no matter what you might think or want or desire or wish for, the Prince, I and I alone create and create my reality. My reality is not disturbed by the hater, by the fan, by the friend, by the family, by the politician, by the government, by any individual, person, place, or thing. I am God. You didn't know? I am God. And the Black woman is God. The Black woman is God. The Black woman is God. And so indeed, my mothers and my great mothers and my great great grandmothers have passed down this divinity unto I, for me to bring forward today that which the ancestors would approve, that's which the ancestors would desire, that which the ancestors would want. For my regulars, I know you've heard all this before. For my newcomers, listen in. And indeed for my fans, Cola Baskin, take notes, beloved. Take notes. This is how you handle adversity. This is how you handle evilness and wickedness. This is how you handle misinformation and the miseducated and the uneducated, and indeed the ignorant. You keep putting one foot in front of the other. You keep getting up and refuse to bow down. That's how you become the king and leader of authentic New Orleans voodoo. That's how you become the king and leader and the god and goddess of your own reality. And for that, I'm grateful. Call me the stone that the builder refused. For indeed, I shall be and will continue to be the head cornerstone. It is my destiny to walk this path. There are no options for me beyond this path. Enjoy your lives, enjoy your family, enjoy your cushy jobs and your cushy careers. Indeed, that might be your destiny. But my destiny rests in spirituality and religion. My destiny rests in the re-education and the truth of Louisiana, Mississippi Delta voodoo, Cola Baskin. This ain't Haiti, beloved. This ain't Haiti, this is New Orleans. And indeed, we stand with and we pray for and we fight with and we battle with our sister country, our sister state of Haiti, and the Haitians now that are under oppression. Democrats, liberals, those fans of our president, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? What's happening at the border? I see horses and whips and photographs and videos reminiscent of 1790, 1890. I'm not seeing the free and liberal and conscious, and Captain Saver, y'all know how that goes, that America has often claimed to stand up for. We know, the descendants of the Middle Passage, we know who America defends, who America protects. We know, we're not shocked, we're not surprised. And indeed, the work continues. The work with SOS Coalition continues. No, Cantrell, we don't back down. No, we don't bow down, don't know how. No, we won't let up. No, this won't be an easy ride for you. So do what you need to do. Do what you need to do, because we're going to continue to do what we need to do to ensure that there is never a city hall or any other government municipal facility inside Congo Square. It won't happen, beloved. It won't happen. Don't think we forgot. Don't think the storm was a diversion, because it was not. And for many of you who have asked and have concerned, yes, I've been here the duration. I never left the city. I never evacuated. I've been here in this sacred temple space the entire time. I've looked out for my neighborhood. I've looked out for my community. I've looked out for the elders and the young people within my community and those who had needs that needed to be met and continue to be met post Hurricane Ida. Some people still don't have power. I know you all are concerned. Denise Augustine just got her internet back today. Some of my neighbors still don't have their internet, still don't have their cable, still don't have power, depending on what community they are and who their service providers are. So New Orleans, we're used to this. We know how to make things look like we having a great time. Okay. So don't be fooled by the second lines. Don't be fooled by, an occasional photograph coming out of the French Quarter. The French Quarter was the first to have their power restored. All of their power lines are underground. The rest of the city has had to do a lot of work. And yes, the rumors are true. We still have garbage everywhere. Greetings, Pa Cheeto. Greetings, beloved. And we're still having a lot to do to bring things back together. Greetings, Goddess Initiative. Thank you so much for your love and your support. Listen, to everyone who has been supportive, to everyone who cared, to anyone who sent resources, we know who you are. We got your back. We love and appreciate your love and support of us, of New Orleans, of the DivinePrince, House of DivinePrince, the community. We certainly are grateful. And indeed, I'm aware of those who didn't say a peep. I'm aware of those who I haven't heard from since before the hurricane. I'm aware of those who are always here to watch and listen and observe, but didn't send a prayer, didn't send a concern, wasn't interested in our situation here in New Orleans. And let me be clear, this isn't a new awakening of awareness. I've always been aware. And one of the things that this downtime allowed for, sometimes they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. It really allowed me to see who is really serious about indigenous culture, Aboriginal culture, African culture, and of course ATR and these traditions. It really allowed me to see who's just playing church still and who's really committed to this walk. Many of my godchildren I heard through the entire storm. The work never stopped. But you listeners and you fans, who went on and distracted yourself with other things, TikTok, Instagram, other podcasts, good. Continue on. Continue on, because you will no longer be acknowledged or fed in this space. I'm no longer doing this podcast, which takes a great deal of 5 hours out of the middle of my day just to talk for 2 hours and not have you all be responsive. Just to talk for 2 hours and you all to go on and try and copy and mimic and duplicate poorly what you think you heard. Goddess Initiative will tell you what you think you heard. Because what I say in this platform is for a general audience. What I say off air is for the individual. It's for the client, it's for the student, it's for the individual who's serious about doing this work, who's serious about living this lifestyle. Because this is a lifestyle. This isn't a quick spell, a quick ritual, some quick magic you do to get your man back, to hit the lotto, to take a shortcut to avoid the work. That's not what this is. I've been saying that for a long time. That's not what this is. Never has been, never will be. So I'm changing up a little bit. I had started changing up right before the storm came. Yes, Goddess Initiative, I appreciate that, beloved. Just continue to be present, continue to be supportive, continue to share your love, continue to take the work seriously, continue to pass it on to your children and your nieces and nephews and cousins. We appreciate it. We do. We appreciate everything. Greetings, my sister, One Wapani, my blood sister. I certainly appreciate you. Lakeithia Mims, I'm sure you listening. I don't see you yet, but I'm sure you listening. Thank you, Pachita. I learned it from you. But Pachito taught me how to open my mouth and tell the truth and shame the devil, and really not to give a care about what you all seem to think, and certainly what manifests in your demonstration. Listen, I'm changing up. I'm changing. Look, this is the first podcast I've ever done with my head uncovered. Did anybody notice? It's a new day. I'm on to a new thing here, and I'm going to stop trying to be diplomatic. I'm going to stop trying not to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm going to stop trying to be extra sensitive for folks that's extra sensitive, who aren't extra sensitive to anyone else but themselves. I noticed that about our community. We extra sensitive about everything except what come out of our own mouth, which shows up in our own behavior. And when we're called to the truth, oh, you got an array of skills in the read. You got an array of skills in cussing folks out and talking vulgar and crazy and snapping and going off. Some of you have perfected that, but you have not perfected the words or the spirit or the energy to check yourselves. Because a true master, a true mature individual person knows how to check theyself, knows how to look at their feelings and their emotions and understand what's appropriate and what's not appropriate at any given moment of time or space. Friend, family, unknown, I can't do it. If you're not sensitive to your own behavior, I can't be sensitive in speaking truth to it and speaking power to it. I've shared this platform over the last 12 years with many people. Many people. Go back in the Blog Talk Radio archives. I've had many people on the show. I've invited many people to sell their products and to share their platform here on the show. Many. I've been an open book for many years in this platform. And we see, by way of demonstration, some of those people are gone, not just from here, gone from the internet, no longer having any kind of footprint as the psychic spiritualist wannabe that they thought they were for 15 hot minutes. And now they've moved on. They've moved on. Some of you jumped in and thought, oh, wait a minute, this is going to be a shortcut to self-employment. No, it's not. This is no easier shortcut than Mary Kay or Amway or Avon. And if you're not willing to put work into that, you're not going to survive or succeed in that either. So this is no different. And spirituality and religion is no joke. This is just as serious to me as dental care. This is just as serious to me as heart surgery. So I appreciate that some of you find it entertaining. I'm an entertainer in my second job. I'm an actor in my second job. That has a lot to do with my luck. I'm a performer in my second job. And just know that it's coming. And just know that everything ain't for everybody. But just know that it's coming, and coming real soon and real quick to a network near you. Just know it's coming. I'm going to start filming in the next 30 days or so for an up and coming reality show of which I will be the executive producer of. And so there will be an opportunity for those of you who like free and who like discount. You know, there'll be some waivers that you might need to sign and some non-disclosures that you'll be required to sign, but I'll offer you free. I'll offer you free if you're willing to be a part of this up and coming reality show. So I'm really excited. A lot has happened in the last 3 weeks, a lot. Even during the power outage, I was without power for about 8 or 9 days. And then the power was kind of inconsistent, and now it's on. As I said earlier, it's not quite together in other communities, but I'm grateful for those who sent supplies and resources, of which, you know, we'll always need. The hurricane season does not end until November 30th. There are a few systems out there in the Atlantic right now, and you know, that are moving about. So we're still under the threat of another calamity or catastrophe till at least December 1st. And then come next year, we'll start it all over again. So nothing is wasted, no one's efforts, no one's resources, no one's time, no one's concern has been nor will ever be wasted on my watch. And I'm grateful for Cheeto Paw and oh wow, I'm drawing a blank on my names now. Some of our community leaders from across the lake, some of our Aboriginal and Indigenous leaders who came through for us, who stood up with us, you know, who rented a U-Haul and found a way into the city to ensure that we had resources. We won't forget you. We know who you are. And again, those who stood back and remained quiet and disappeared, but now you popping up, yeah, I see you too. I see you too. And so don't be shocked, you know, when I get the urgent request for assistance, you know, by email. Don't be shocked at my professional, organized response, because that's what it is. This isn't on favor. This isn't on who I like more. This isn't on popularity. Goddess Initiative, Nina Lloyd, many others in this chat tell you, Prince don't change up for anybody, at any time. And when I have a client that's hedging on the work, do I bite my tongue? Do I get soft? No. So it's not specific to this platform. What you see is what you get. What you see is the real deal. I don't change up. And it's taken some people years to figure that out. Years to figure that out. Years of observance. Years of watching how I move and how I operate, to know that I don't change up. Ask your mayor-elect, Byron Cole, do the Divine Prince change up? Ever, ever. Under the threat of violence, loss of income, loss of friendship, ask Byron Cole, do the Divine Prince ever change up? Have I ever changed up in the 25 years that I've been in this city? I don't play that. I don't get down that way. And I don't associate myself with people who do. You understand the word loyalty? I'm as loyal as they come. As loyal as they come. Okay? I don't change up. I don't change up. And so my loyalty is to the community, is to the ancestors, is to the practice, is to the tradition, is to the culture. And I can't be bought. I can't be influenced. My Asperger's don't even allow me to be influenced. You're not tapping my emotions. My Asperger's syndrome don't allow me to. You can't cry on me and get me to weaken. No. You could get angry on my watch and expect me to alter my behavior. No. No. I don't live in that. Don't exist in that. Some of you are concerned about the little interruption we had. I think the second before last show. It's all good. Not only is it all good, YouTube fixed it. So there is no strike on my record. There is no, charge to my account for what happened. But I will tell you this. You won't be popping in on camera on my show. It's just not happening. And the unfortunate thing is it now makes it difficult for you all who might otherwise want to follow that link. Oh, wow, I didn't pop the link in today and join me here live on air. Know that you will be validated for your identity before I ever open a mic or a camera on anyone on this show from here on out. I got so the unknown usernames and the profiles with no face, you won't have a voice here. It's too risky. You won't have a voice here. So I'm a quick learner. I'm a very quick learner. It don't take me but one time to learn. And I don't make that same mistake again. So no one else will be able to turn on the camera, turn on the mic, and just show up on the show without us knowing who you are before I open that camera. Now, many of you know what happened. Someone abused Nina Lloyd. Nina Lloyd was already in the chat, so I should have known better. I should have said something before I saw her name and opened that camera. They basically used her name, put it on a profile with no picture, and then pop, 5 seconds of porn on the screen. Because it took me about 5 seconds, 7 seconds to block that account, to get it off the screen. And originally, YouTube tried to make it my fault. Until I, had to pull some legalities. They tried to make it my fault. So, I went on and took the vacation, which turned out to be lovely, and came at a very timely point because of the storm. So we would have been down anyway and unable to broadcast. But they absolutely corrected the strike. There is no strike on my account. And no one will be able to just pop in again. It's not happening. Thank you, Goddess Initiative. Yeah, it's going to be a reality TV show. I can't, I probably should not say much about it until it's too late for anybody to interfere with it. But we're going to start filming in the next 30 days. Yeah, Imani Sankofa. Yeah, that's what happened, beloved. That's what happened. And I want to say that happened maybe about a week before the hurricane came. Yeah. So it allowed me to explore TikTok, and which was new to me. I'm absolutely blowing up on TikTok. I don't know how that's even happening. But it allowed me to explore some other things, some other platforms some other ideas. It allowed me to audition for some new roles. I probably had 4 auditions just in the last 2 weeks, from which I'm grateful for. So my appearance will be changing and transforming, you know, get used to it in the coming days. I'm busy now, and I'm grateful for my godchildren and my initiates and my students and my, you know, who gave their opinions during this little vacation and advice about how I should move. Greetings, cousin Yvette Mosaic. Greetings, beloved. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, I'm back. I'm back at it, better than ever. I'll be as consistent as I can, as always, depending on my outside schedule. You know, and it's indeed has been my clients who've given the best advice, my godchildren who have given the best advice in terms of how I should operate here, and how much time and effort I'm expending here, often for it to not be appreciated. For those of you who appreciate it, I know who you are. You're doing the work. I hear from you regularly. But again, those who, you know, sit and listen and are consistent in the sitting and the listening, but never participate, never contribute, I'm not doing this for you anymore. Never was doing it for you, but I'm making a more concerted effort now to make sure that that's obvious, that I'm not doing this for you anymore. Okay? I got too much on my plate. I got too much on my plate. I'm continuing to grow this house, to grow this ministry, to grow this practice, this culture, and indeed this tradition. And so I don't have a lot of time, you know, on my plate. No more losing sleep. No more going without eating, and not getting enough water because I'm going from phone call to phone call to phone call to the podcast, to phone call to appointment, to ritual to ceremony. You know, I just can't. I just can't. So I'm going to continue to feed those individuals and families. Indeed, I'm grateful, who continue to support, who continue to be present, you know, but you're going to find that I'm going to be less available for the foolishness, just less available, just less available. I'm grateful this September 21st. Isn't this the first day of fall? This is the fall equinox. I am indeed grateful. It's still every bit summertime here in New Orleans. We typically don't cool off until, I don't know, November, sometimes December. We're looking forward to 80-degree weather next week, or from tomorrow on, as opposed to the 90 and 100-degree weather we've been dealing with otherwise. Thank you, Kevin Books. All is a blessing, brother. You're here. I'm satisfied. The spirits are satisfied. You showed up. You offered a greeting. You're good. No reason to apologize for being late. I get it. We all got a life. My cousin Yvette got a life. My godchildren, the Goddess Initiative, they got a life. I get it. Nina Lloyd got a life. So we appreciate you. I appreciate people for showing up 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, you know, an hour. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. My complaint is those who don't participate, who don't ever have anything to say. And I'm grateful for them. They keep my numbers up. Let's look at our numbers. Oh, yeah. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Many people took the time in the last 3 weeks to go into the archives, to look at some of the previous podcasts, to go into blogtalkradio.com and listen to some of the archive shows. I'm grateful for my international audience. Of course, the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, Hong Kong, some of my most consistent listeners and participants right now at this time. Our map has changed in the Middle East, unfortunately. And we're all aware of what's going on right now in Afghanistan. And I can literally look at my map and see um, a big gray area. And the gray area on the Blog Talk Radio map is where we're not being listened to or heard from. And so that has expanded in the Middle East. Some of the countries that we had with us before, like Egypt and Ethiopia even, are now gray, meaning whatever audience I had there is either not listening or unable to listen because the internet has been curtailed in those communities. Many of you remember me talking about Ethiopia specifically. Ethiopia don't play when it comes to the internet. You can't Facebook and TikTok and Instagram in Ethiopia. They don't even allow it. They try and prevent access to it. So I was grateful when, I had a listening audience coming from that region. But since the great tragedy that's taking place in Afghanistan, I've seen a change in East Africa and those countries closest to the Middle East, those Islamicized countries. But I'm grateful for Niger. Niger is still with us. Ghana is still with us. Nigeria is still with us. Greetings, Nigeria. Cameroon is still with us. Democratic Republic of Congo is still with us. Uganda is now with us. Kenya is still with us. South Africa is still with us. A great deal of Europe is still with us. And I'm always appreciative of Germany and Italy and France and Spain and the Ukraine and Turkey, Russia, China even listens. India listens to us. Pakistan listens to us. Iran listens to us. But there are those Islamic nations closest to Afghanistan that have gone gray. Australia, Indonesia listens. Malaysia listens to us. The Philippines is still a consistent listener to us. Brazil, of course, I have a house in Brazil, still listens to us, and Argentina still listens to us. So I'm grateful for those of you who stay consistent, whether I'm here or not. Stay consistent even when I'm out, filming a movie or something. You all manage to stay consistent, and therefore I'm grateful. Greetings, Craig Burns. I'm certainly appreciative. Thank you very much. I saw your comment on YouTube. I'm certainly grateful. I did a reality show for the UK a few years back with the Bradders. Together, father and son, they're referred to as the Bradders. I always get tongue-tied when I try and call their names. Bradley Walsh and his son, Barney Walsh. The name of that reality show was called Breaking Dad. I believe we filmed that in 2018, maybe. So I'm grateful, whether it be a client, a previous client, or maybe someone who had experienced me from the reality show, but I'm certainly grateful. My right-hand man is here today, Joshua Nyland. Tanner, greetings, beloved. My masking wild man, I'm certainly appreciative. Thank you for being with us today. Because I know your schedule is busy and overwhelming right now, so we're certainly appreciative. Michael Caesar, peace and blessings to you as well. I'm seeing some new names, so I'm grateful. Yes, Nina Lord, we are worldwide, beloved. We are worldwide, and please know that you help. Nina goes into social media. Nina tags me in just about every post she makes. She also tags other people, other important people in the community, celebrities in the community. She is one of the people who helps to keep this show alive in social media. She does more than just listen. She's a godchild. She's a student, and she helps me market. She helps me promote. Some of you have been asking about my moderator. Beloved, she's still around. Kiona is doing great, honey. That's why you haven't seen Kiona in the chat. Kiona is doing great. And she's going to come and share her testimony at some point in the coming days. She was one of my godchildren who was a moderator and moderated. And many of you remember Nina. you know, and one day I made some kind of shady comments about how committed was she, you know, to doing this work off air. Sister went and did this work off air and almost immediately got results. Like I've told many of you, these ancestors do not play. Your ancestors exist in your blood. That's not just hoodoo, that's not just voodoo, that is science. Ancestral memory survives in the blood. So grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, whoever's gone on the other side, they know exactly what you need. They know exactly what you're up against. They know exactly what you're fighting. My ministry stands on ancestral work and demonstration. So beloved Kiona is doing great. I'm not going to tell her story for her. I'm going to let her come here in the coming days and tell her story. But girlfriend is doing great. Is doing great. And she was woman enough, goddess enough to speak power to truth. To speak power to truth. Beloved, we had our little moment, but let me tell you, and when she got to telling me, yeah. And see, that's why I can't back down. I can't change. I can't alter my character, my personality, and how I do things to make it easier for you or more entertaining for you or softer in approach to you. I've already toned down. I got my mama to verify that. I got my sister Wapani to verify that. These are people who know me, raised me, grew up with me, know exactly who I am. If anybody knows I'm being biting or aggressive, it's my mama. If anybody knows I'm putting on too much, it's Wapani. And Wapani ain't gonna bite her tongue at all. It's one of the things I love about my sister. Wapani's gonna keep it real. She gonna tell the truth, and she gonna keep it moving. And so, you know, I'm a sensitive person, and I think some of you have taken advantage of that over the years, especially when you think we're in a public format, we on camera. Some of y'all got children. Don't they do that? They get you in the grocery store and clown and act the fool and think you're not going to pop that ass because there's people looking. Well, people have tried that with me because of my diplomatic demeanor. I had to work hard to be this diplomatic because my sperm donor ain't and never has been diplomatic. So I had to work very hard not to be too aggressive, not to just come out the gate. You know, I work extra hard at checking what I say, checking my demonstration, and making sure that it's authentic to the practice and authentic to the work. So when people who've been on the other side of that come back and say, don't change, I'm not about to change. And people who have been watching this demonstration for years hit me up, call me up and say, don't change. I'm not about to change. Not about to. So some of you are not happy with my demonstration. I'm here to tell you, honey, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. And this reality show, as an actor and a performer, is going to give me an opportunity to bring forth other characters and other personalities. And so as a performer, you know, that'll allow me sometimes to say some things that DivinePrince might not always say in his diplomatic, professional demeanor. But I assure you, the other characters that I'm about to bring out on y'all are not going to bite a tongue. Are not going to take a breath. I'm going to read from filth from A to Z. If you step up, I'm going to sit you down. And people want that. People want that. I have to compete with, oh my God, I've got to compete against Atlanta Housewives. I got to compete against, you know, T.S. Madison. I got to compete against, you know, Steve Wilkos. I've got to compete against some really biting reality footprints, you know, in the market. You know, you got people who randomly come through here who think this is boring, you know, who think I need to be a little bit more or something. So I'm really excited. I can't tell you. It's been three years coming to get to this point. Yes, Goddess Initiative. I'm gonna let her know you asked about it too, or you've been thinking about it. Girlfriend is doing good. She's doing really, really good, and she's happy, you know, and she's handling her work. Thank you, Kay Ronason. Just loving that Harriet Tubman. Thank you, thank you. Yes, Yvette, you know Wapani, honey. My sister, she don't, if she ain't feeling it, you know it immediately. She moves forward. I try to be diplomatic and I try to tone it down a little bit. And I think about people's feelings. You know, I do. I do. You know, I'm not reactionary to people's feelings. I don't have the wiring, but I'm conscious of people's feelings and what I say and what the responses are. Is a response authentic to what I said, or is the response authentic to where the person is in their spiritual walk? Those are the questions I have to ask. Check myself before I check the next person. You know, for you magical book readers, the book of Proverbs, check myself before. The book of Psalms, Lord, check me first before you go after my enemies. Because some of us has done some crazy stuff over the years. Some of us are still working out some karma. Some of y'all done bit some people and kicked some people and walked over some people, and you didn't forgot what you did when you was 20 and 25 and 30. You didn't forgot when you went out of your way to be nasty and have gone on with your life and are married and have children. And today you're living a moral existence, but you forgot who you was, that bitch you was, that nigger you was back in the day. God ain't forgot. Ancestors ain't forgot. And indeed, when you claim a spiritual walk, you're asking to be tested. You're asking to be tested. And then when you start claiming titles, you're asking to be tested. When you start getting on camera, on mic, in some of these public forums representing reality, spirituality, religion, you're asking to be tested. You're asking to be tested. I've known that since I began Blog Talk Radio. I've known that. But some of you are brand new. Y'all think this is easy. We make this look easy. You think, oh, all I need to do is turn it on and talk for an hour. No, it's not that easy. It's really not. And it's certainly not that easy to gain a following. Some of you are trying to gain a following in YouTube. You know how challenging that is. If you're not rich or well-known celebrity, it's a challenge. This ain't easy. And certainly doing spiritual work and taking on the responsibility of handling people's spiritual work, to me, that's just as serious as brain surgery. And too many of y'all are playing. Too many of y'all playing. If another wannabe psychic reaches out to me and their life is in shambles, I'm gonna pull all my hair out. Well, not really, but yeah, I'm gonna feel some kind of way. You know, God has his way. And I'm moving beyond even feeling a need to care anymore, because my community is letting me know that's a distraction too. That's a distraction too. I can't keep worrying about trying to protect you from hurting yourself. I mean, that's what we do for our toddlers. You know, we lock up our medications and we lock our cabinets down, and we make sure they can't climb up on the hot stove or, you know, pull the oven open. That's what we do for toddlers, for spiritual toddlers, for spiritual infants, for spiritual children. I shouldn't have to keep guarding my word for grown folks that's claiming they on a spiritual path. I can't keep protecting your heart from my speaking the truth from so-called grown folks that's claiming to be on the spiritual path. Can't do it. Michael Caesar, beloved, I don't Cash App. I only PayPal. I only PayPal. And it's for legitimacy, to be quite honest. I'm rolling now on the bottom of the screen, Michael Caesar. My website, houseofthedivineprince.com. It has a PayPal link. You can also email me. My signature in every email has a PayPal link. And now you're looking at my PayPal, www.paypal.me/the-divine-prince. Divine is spelled with an I, not an E. That's not for you, Michael. That's for everybody else that wants to misspell my name. It's DivinePrince, the Divine Prince, one word, in the PayPal. I don't use Cash App. I don't use Venmo. I don't use any of the other services. I know too many horror stories in those services. Those services are also designed to, help people to hide their identity, which is why many of those apps are very popular in social media and in other parts of the world. People are getting scammed through those apps because they can't trace you back. PayPal is just as good as a bank. PayPal knows who you are. PayPal knows where your bank is. And so I've never had a problem with PayPal ever. So I stick to PayPal. Yeah, the goddess initially said, woo, because that early 20s behavior karma hit her like a ton of bricks at 34, right before the rabbit hole. That was my experience. And if Wapani weren't so busy crocheting, she would step in and tell you, I warned her. I warn everybody. 30 to 33, if you're in my space, I warn you. I say it's a reason they crucified the said Savior in the magical book at 33. It's a reason Masons and Shriners use that formula, 33rd. It's a reason. Water is only half thawed at 32 degrees. It's frozen at 33 degrees. No. I said that in reverse. Water is frozen at 32 degrees. It's only half thawed at 33 degrees. You got slushy water at 33 degrees. Some of y'all know what I'm saying. I'm speaking in the code right now. Some of y'all understand. Okay, the water is frozen at 32 and only partly thawed at 33. But I say that to say, I warn everybody. I do. I say 33 is coming, beloved. And usually between 33 and 43 is when, if we haven't done our shadow work, that's when it rises to the top. Some of you said, oh, I'm going to just move on with my life. I'm an adult now. I'm going to forget about my childhood. I'm going to forget about the abuse and the pain and the trauma. It shows up at 33, 34, 35. It floats right to the top, right to the top. And so I validated that with my own experience, and many people in my life can validate that. The Goddess Initiative just validated it again for you. You can't outrun your shadow work. You can't outrun yourself if you're serious about spiritual growth. See, a lot of people ain't serious. They just go to church on Sunday or show up at the mosque or whatever. It's at the bottom of the screen, Denisha, but I'm going to copy and paste it for you in a moment. Just let me get a free hand. And thank you, Chef Bougie. I really appreciate it. I really do. I do. Yes, it's required. This change is absolutely required for myself and for others. Greetings, Queen Sheba. Greetings, beloved. Thank you kindly. Yes, Mrs. Jones. Me and Mrs. Jones. Don't make me break out and sing that song. Greetings, beloved. Greetings, Stanza. I like that. Greetings. Yeah, that shadow work is critical. Yeah, and it floats to the top. Especially, many, get, I don't want to use the word distracted. Many of you get busy living life. You're in your 20s or 30s and you're having kids. Some of you have a husband, the wife, the family, the parents that you're taking care of, all this responsibility. And so you did not have the leisure that I did. And listen to what I'm saying, the leisure that I did as a runaway teen forced to be on the street at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I took that time to discover me. I didn't have children to be worried about. I didn't have other family members to be responsible for. So unfortunately, in this culture, particularly with women, you often don't even have an opportunity to address your own shadow work until you're 30, 35, 40. Your kids start growing up and going on about their business, and now you have the space and the time to do that work. But it is built into, you know, the universe that we all start really looking at who we are, you know, at 33. What have we accomplished? Where are we in our lives? How do we see ourselves at 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80? You know, what is retirement going to look like? What is the remainder of my life going to look like? All that starts kicking in at 33, beloved, especially if you have children, especially if you have a family, especially if you care. Some of us care what the children are going to be doing after us. Are they going to be able to survive? Are they going to be able to do for themselves? Are they going to be able to make it? And as my cousin says, my blood cousin, y'all, Yvette, praise DNA, you must do the shadow work if you want to be a light worker. You must. You must. Because once you turn the light on, all the ghosts and goblins in the closets come flying open, baby. You got to do shadow work to be a light worker. There is no light without darkness. There is no darkness without light. They go hand in hand. As Marie says, it sure does. You have to do the work and go through that purging process. She says she's just coming out at 40. And if this is a recent photograph, honey, it looks good on you. Because in this photo, you glowing, you beaming. We can see it. We can feel it on you. You know, people who have known me for decades, that's a popular thing that's going around social media right now. How many of you know people from your childhood? How many people in your life have you known almost the entirety of your life? That says a lot about who you are and how serious you are about your journey. But I digress. But when I do think back to the people who know me, who know what I've suffered, who know what I've gone through, that's where I get my accolades. That's where I get my sense of balance. And I'm not far removed, as early as 3 hours ago, to call my mama, to call Yvette, to call Wapani, and ask them to check me. I called Wapani and asked her to check me just this morning. Girl, is it me or is it in my imagination? Get me straight. And she got me straight. Oh, okay, I'm gonna let that go because I'm tripping. But see, some of you can't do that. You too grown. You too much of a practitioner and a tarot reader, and can't nobody tell you anything. Can't nobody tell you anything. No matter how kid glove the approach is. Because those of you who went back and watched that episode, I put on kid gloves right in the middle of the show if you were paying attention. And then I was very specific with my words. But they were misinterpreted as an attack. And no, I ain't heard a peep or boop from either one of them. From either one of them. So it tells you, again, who we are, where we are, how mature are you really in your spiritual walk? You know, I go back, some of y'all Facebook, not even 5 years ago. Y'all wasn't light workers and spiritual practitioners 5 years ago. But today you're masters, so much so that an elder can pull your ear for a second. So much so that an elder can say, baby, what's going on? Tone it down. What's happening? You're being aggressive. What's happening with you? You know, only to get boop and ghost. Yeah, I'm talking. It's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm talking now. Yeah, I'm talking. And then I went through a hurricane and didn't hear from many of you, especially the two that I'm referencing. Not a peep. Are you okay? Did you survive? Did you get out? Are you in the water? Not a peep. Not a peep. And let me tell you all, because I got someone else's experience in my head. I have a neighbor who lost a family member in the last 2 weeks. Well, really right before the hurricane. And then the hurricane came and the funeral was delayed. And the family who had come in town, is now trapped in the city with the rest of us during the storm. And so much drama floated to the surface. So much drama. And again, it gave me an opportunity to look at the dynamics of my own family, the dynamics of many of families around me that I'm aware of. And let me tell you, do your work. Do your work. Some of you are sacrificing in the name of family. Oh, well, it's my family, and I got to do, and I got to be there, and I got to be present, only for reality to slap you in the face. Only for you to get in a scenario, as this beloved did, to find out that your family don't have your back. It's not looking out for you. It shows no sense of, thankfulness or gratitude for, what you may have done for them in the last 40 or 50 years. Yeah, this I'm sharing a grown woman's experience right now, somewhere in her 60s. And so she sat on my stoop and made a proclamation. It's my time. Now it's my time. And it brought her to tears. I can't be with y'all today. I got to go be with my family for Thanksgiving. I can't come to your event. I got to go do my family's barbecue, only to have them turn on her. Sometimes we fear the stranger without showing caution to your peer group. Because it's your peer group who can hurt you the deepest, the quickest, the easiest, and the longest. Those who are closest to you. The stranger walking the street, they got to cross the street. But your peer group is already in your house. It's already in your head. It's already in your heart. It's already in your emotions. And sometimes they can char you, burn you the easiest and the hardest. So when we say we're in it but not of it, Stevie Wonder, when we say we spiritual and not religious, when religious only means doing the same thing over and over again with an anticipated result, check yourself. Check yourself. And the minute you say you don't need advice, beloved Michael, travel on, beloved. I see you. Travel on. I see you with some of my friends, and I see you with some of my people out of town and other cities. I see you. Enjoy. Travel on. But know that you're at that 33, beloved. You're about to hit a wall. And when you do, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be here for you. There's nobody anywhere who can say that, they clowned on me and then got over it and came back and I didn't take them back. Nobody else can say that because it ain't true. I take everybody back who's serious. Everybody. And how did I learn that? Through my relationship with my mother. Some of y'all know about my relationship with my mother. Through my relationship with my mother. And my mother reminds us all the time, y'all didn't have to forgive me. Y'all didn't have to make up with me. Y'all didn't have to embrace me again after how I did y'all when I was with your daddy. So that's where I learned forgiveness, is with my mother. And if I can forgive my mother, if I can forgive myself, if we can forgive each other, then yeah, forgiving you out there is a cakewalk for me. Honey, I've had people cuss me, go off on me, get loud with me in the middle of a course of a consultation, hang up on me. Only to come back and say, damn, you was right. Okay. Only to come back and say, oh my God, bruh, I just couldn't hear you then. And I get it, because when I was 20, I didn't hear you either. No amount of just be happy penetrated when I was 25. No amount of get up and do your shadow work penetrated when I was 25. I wasn't trying to hear that. As with most young people. And it's in your hormones, it's in your chemistry. You really think, you know, and that's for survival. I think God put that in the hormones so that we survive and that we build and we defend and we protect. But your mind is supposed to also be developing and growing and maturing at the same time. Yvette says 50 when she got serious about therapy and shadow work. I'm going to use my mother as an example. My mother didn't see a therapist until she was 77 years old. And is still seeing a therapist today. 78 years old, seeing a therapist. Taking yoga classes. Improving her mind, body, and her spirit. Nina Lloyd said, I agree, it's floating to the top. She had to ask herself many times, why am I angry? Oh, girl, that is so mature. Oh, my God. Can I put a crown on your head, Nina? That is so mature, because many of y'all can't do that. Why am I being angry and why am I being triggered? Many of y'all can't do that. You think your anger and your triggering is legitimate. Oh, well, they said this, so I had to get them straight. They showed up on my job, you know, so I had to go off. No, you didn't have to do nothing but be authentic to who you are. That's what you did. You were authentic to who you are, not who you claim to be or who you're becoming. So when I hear a client, a godchild say, you know, I had to ask myself, why am I angry? That's real shadow work. Can I give you a golden crown, Nina? That's real shadow work. That's what I had to do, because I knew better. I knew how ornery and vicious my dad is. I knew. And so I knew that it's in my genes. Oh yeah, catch me in the street. Y'all ain't seen that side of me. Catch me in the street. But I had to learn, every trigger don't require a response. Every trigger ain't about you, per se. It's about you, specifically. Okay, let me say that again. Every trigger ain't about you. You know, what some random person said in the chat, that ain't a real trigger. You know, what happened at the checkout, that's not a real trigger. The real trigger is how you respond to outside stimuli. That's the real trigger. As corny as it sounds, I had to learn how to count to 10. Ask for Pani. I will get quiet before I go off, because now I'm in my thoughts. I'm in my spirit. I'm analyzing. Some of you have had phone calls with me, and I always say, when I get quiet, I'm being diplomatic. I'm looking for my words. And so when I'm angry, I get quiet because I'm looking for my words and formulating a response. So yeah, there is no such thing as she triggered me and I had to go off. He was disrespectful, so I had to act a fool and act just as disrespectful towards myself. I see a lot in TikTok, honey. TikTok is a hot mess. Yeah, TikTok is a hot mess. Can it be beneficial? Yeah, just like all of it, it's a two-edged sword. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff in TikTok I never saw in any of the other platforms. People snapping, people going off, these damn pranks. I'm sick of the pranks. I would never prank with Pani, Yvette, my mama, the Goddess Initiative, Denise Augustine. I would never prank them. That's just ridiculous. You do that in elementary school. But you all are doing quote unquote adult pranks, dangerous pranks, crazy pranks. And that one about accusing your mama of being a prostitute, where'd that come from? Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. Where'd that come from? And what kind of prank is that? What kind of laugh is that? I'm waiting for one of those mamas to pick up something, seriously. But TikTok won't allow you to post violence. They will allow you to post up to the violence. What preceded the violence, but they won't let you post the violence itself. So it's crazy what's happening in our world, in our community, you know, and with people who claim to be kings and queens and gods and goddesses and Babalaos and Ianifas and Orishas, and, you know, and your demonstration is just so carnal. Queen Sheba, thank you for sharing, because we know you didn't have to. She's changing and she's growing out of her marriage, and it hurts. And she can no longer dim her light. And I understand her pain, because if you ever love someone, ever, now you may fall out of love, you may, you know, and some people divorce and still there's love. But when you realize that you're growing and your partner is not, you have to make a mature decision to get out of the way. Because sometimes you, especially the women, are in the way of your man growing, because you keep cleaning up the mess. You keep holding it together. You keep paying all the bills. So there's no repercussion. Why would he change if we don't change? Ain't that right, Queen Sheba? If we don't get out of the way, they can't change. Where did I learn that? From my mother. From my mother. Especially church folks, religious folks, because y'all doing it for God, y'all doing it for the Bible, y'all doing it in the name of vows, and are sitting and allowing yourselves to be abused and mistreated and treated any old kind of way, less than a God, less than divinity. Yet you say you're doing it for love. Oh, I'm doing it for my children. No, you're not. No, you're not. I can tell you how many times me and Wapani looked my mama in the face and said, you ain't doing this for us. Because if you were doing it for us, you would leave this man and not return. And it took 13 attempts before my mother left that man and did not return. And when that was solidified, the whole family began to grow again, begin to find life again, begin to laugh and be happy again, and heal, and heal. I appreciate you as well, Goddess Initiative. I do. I do. But so you know what I'm talking about. There's so many people, they don't want to hear no advice. They don't want your opinion. You know what they say. Everybody got a So I don't want to, you know. Okay, so keep doing that then. Keep eliminating then. Since everybody got one, keep eliminating. Because what's coming out of here ain't wisdom, it's elimination. Y'all know what I mean when I say elimination. Y'all know the proverb, everybody has an asshole, so everybody has an opinion. So that's what I mean by elimination. I'm trying not to get a profanity strike. Yeah. So I thank you, Queen Sheba. I thank you, Queen Initiative, S. Marie, Nina Lloyd, my cousin Yvette, my sister Wapani, my mama, all my regulars, and certainly my new listeners and participants. I'm grateful for you. I'm truly grateful for you. Whatever brought you here to share and witness my demonstration, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Yes, your growth is paramount, Sheba. Paramount. Greetings to Goddess. Greetings, beloved. Alafia. Yeah, if you Bible readers, read the book of Psalms and the book of Proverbs in its entirety. And read it seriously. Don't just read through it. I mean, read it to understand what the words say. And when y'all start getting into all those spells that's in those two books, it repeatedly says, check me first. Make sure my hands are clean first. Make sure I'm not the problem. Make sure I've done my work. Because you can't do ritual work and spell work and binding and all the foolishness some of y'all are trying to do with dirty hands. You can't. You can't bind and hurt your former girlfriend because she stole your man when 10 years later you hurt another girlfriend or family member and you stole her man. And now today you upset and you doing ritual work and magic and burying draws and whatnot. It just don't make any sense. Thank you. All else is an illusion. It doesn't make sense. Thank you, Chef Bougie. Thank you, beloved. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, yeah. Let's see the triggers. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Wild Man. And you need to hurry back too, because we got some gigs to do. Let's see. The triggers from childhood trauma showed up in all her personal relationships, and she had to take responsibility for her past. Anytime I hear somebody say, I don't trust anybody, I don't have any friends, and let me be the first to say I'm guilty. Back before I made 33, I was guilty. And Wapani, again, was one of the people that helped me to make sense of what was coming out of my mouth. Because often you're on the phone or in conversation with somebody who really cares, who's looking out for you, who's sympathetic to, you being depressed or emotional right now in this moment. And then you say, I ain't got no friends. I ain't got no support. I can't trust nobody. And see, Big Mama taught me people who don't trust nobody can't be trusted. People who trust no one cannot be trusted. It's about humanity, understanding what you're capable of, and then being able to empathize, sympathize, see that in what others might be capable of. So yeah, if every relationship is breaking down, it's you. It's you. It don't mean that the people were somehow right, but you drew those people to you so that you could relearn that lesson. Some of y'all keep dating the same man over and over. He just got a different name and a different complexion. And y'all dating the same man over and over because you're not doing your shadow work. Therefore, you think the problem is the man or the men that you're dating, and the problem is you. The problem is you. Yeah, I'm going there today because I'm going there today, y'all. Yes. Goddess Initiative, I'm a little thrilled. I know that's an old comment. I'm not exactly sure what that was in reference to. Let me see. Once you learn who you are dealing with and their nature, then you have to learn how to blame yourself for letting the madness continue. Thank you, Chef Bougie. Maya Angelou said it best. When people tell you who they are, believe them the first time. The first time. Believe them the first time. That's what Maya Angelou said. She didn't say believe them. She said believe them the first time. So when you start sharing your story, well, he did me this way in 2015, and she did me that way in 2018, and they did me that way in 20, and now it's 2021. It's you, boo. It's you. Some of you are drawing scenarios to you just so your anger can be triggered, so you can look at it. Some of you are drawing untrustworthy individuals into your space just so you can check yourself and your behavior. There's power in Psalms and Proverbs. Yeah, I refer to them as the magical book. Yes, ma'am, if you really understand. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Let me see. Let me check my Blog Talk Radio. Forgive me, I often don't check Blog Talk Radio enough. At area code 845-277-9143. Often I have folks waiting patiently with their hands raised, and I'm too busy talking to check. The Goddess 05, honey, you and me are together on that. I'll let my clients know. Spells, look that up in the Webster Dictionary. Temporary. Temporary. Okay, so can you spell a man back? Can you hoodoo a man back? And because I'm dealing with this right now. And I know the client might be listening. I'm not picking at you. I'm just talking. 24 hours, 48 hours. I'm talking about a sister who claims to have lost thousands of dollars with internet folk, Instagram folk, TikTok folk who claim they can get her husband back in 48 hours. 48 hours. That's ridiculous and unrealistic. And church going, I might add. So I asked the question, and beloved, if you're listening, nobody knows, don't get in your feelings. Nobody knows who I'm talking about. You know because it's your scenario, but nobody knows what I'm talking about. So don't flip out. But she's a church-going woman. So I asked her, how many spontaneous healings have you seen in your church? How many marriages did your pastor lay hands on or pray for and fix in 24 or 48 hours? But then you all are scrolling Google and social media looking for wannabe practitioners who are offering you just that. Yeah, stop making excuses, Queen Sheba. You're blocking your blessing. You're blocking your blessing. And you could be blocking theirs as well. Because again, the women often absorb the blow. The karma that should be coming back to the partner, often the women absorb and then forget. And in the worst case scenario, forget and then move on. Stop making excuses for yourself and for them. That's the shortcut to improvement, is to stop making excuses. Yes, women who say they can't hang with other women alarm me. I have a cousin who I kind of grew up with. That was her moniker, and of course I was young, and then when I was out there on the street as a teenager, every now and then I would find my way back to that neighborhood, that community, and hang out and party with her and see and share her lifestyle. She was a hoe. In her own words, she was a hoe. She had a man to fix the car, a man to fix the refrigerator, a man to help her with the rent, a man to buy her weed. And she loved to say, oh, I don't like women. I don't hang out with women. Yeah, because women are not going to let you use and abuse them the same way these men might. These men are extra sensitive. I got a celebrity client I had this conversation with in the last week. Brother, you are extra sensitive to crying and emotion and sexy sensitivity in a way that I'm not. Not because I'm gay or of the third gender, not just because I have Asperger's syndrome. I just don't buy into foolishness. As a practitioner, I got to get to the root of the problem. I ain't got time to listen to you recant your story for 2 hours, because we enjoy retelling the story. Oh, that's so sad, girl. What? For real? And that's entertainment. I'm like, no, let's cut to the fix. How do we fix that? And that's where people go numb on me. Oh, well, I'm not trying to think about how to fix it. I know you're only interested in keeping the drama alive. So no, I'm not as trusting of women either, who say they don't associate with other women. Nor am I of men who claim they, don't like other men or don't hang with other men. It's all imbalanced, irregular, and suspect. I can partially agree with you about magic being amoral, partially. There's definitely a value-based system in ATR when it comes to magic. A lot of what is being presented and masqueraded today as magic is really about control, dominance, doing magic that only feeds what I want, maybe not what I need. getting my hands on something that otherwise might be presented as a challenge to me, only to get it and then not be able to keep it because you didn't do any of the other necessary work. So that's what I mean when I say I can partially agree with magic being amoral. I absolutely agree with the intention being set. Absolutely. Because the intention is correct, then you're not doing quick magic if your intentions are correct. You don't want quick magic if the intentions are correct. Let me use an example. You got a headache. You take an aspirin. Okay, so the headache is gone. But what caused the headache? Where did the headache come from? Is the headache a symptom of something else going on, in your body, in your health, in your life? But you take a Tylenol and you forget. You take a Tylenol and go right back into the activity. We drink the pink stuff and then go right back to the all-you-can-eat buffet and gorge ourselves because we got the pink stuff. We got the plop, plop, fizz, fizz. But it doesn't get to the root of the problem. It doesn't get to the source of the problem. So Queen Sheba, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm allowing my babies to watch Weakness and they deserve better. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Queen Sheba's coming out today, y'all. Yeah, stop saying you're doing it for your children. And some of your children are telling you through literally or through behavior that what you're doing don't make no sense if you listen to your children. Some folks, I know you don't listen to your children. I'm the adult. You just a child. No, you better pay attention to your children. And if your child's face turn up every time that man comes around, it's a problem. If your children acting out of sorts every time you seem to be forgiving and giving in, there is a problem. So I thank Queen Sheba for being so transparent today in her commentary. She didn't have the energy to go on. Yeah, I agree. And save your energy and regenerate your energy for you and your children. And let him do his thing. And listen, you might still just, I just want things to be better. Okay, you might have to move around. He might have to see you move around. He might have to watch you all grow and mature before he puts that into motion. Rarely does excessive forgiving make that happen. Rarely. Or even in drug rehab, they're going to forgive you, but they damn sure going to put some rules on you. You damn sure going to pee in that cup. They certainly going to check your commitment to your behavior. You go into 12-step meetings, you don't have to sign that piece of paper proving you was there. But see, when you talk about spiritual work, often that kind of oversight ain't present. Nobody knows how serious you are about your work but you. And so it's real easy for you to say, I'm spiritual and I'm a tarot reader, I'm an astrologer and I'm a light worker and I'm up here. And then the next day you completely off in your post. Because there's nobody there to check you. And that's why some of you are avoiding godparents and initiations. You don't want nobody saying you need to correct that. You don't want nobody saying you need to go back and look at that again. You don't want anybody saying, baby, you're taking a shortcut and you're going to regret this later on. That's, come on now. Yes, body and mind changer. Yes, I don't even have to know what the question is. I'm just grateful you got the quick answer, beloved. Now I believe in quick answers, just not quick magic. Yes, but thank you, body and mind changer. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. The pendulum swings forth, then comes back. It's the law of rhythm. If you can't catch it, don't throw it. I agree. Greetings, Oshun Yemi. Greetings, beloved. Joshua, my wow man, my right-hand man, my assistant. There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas as well, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Okay, wait a minute. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again. George Bush Jr. Okay, I don't know about that rendition, but I know what you talked about. My grandmama used to say it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, and I got a problem and should seek some assistance. I just added that. But no, don't fool me twice. And somehow love makes that okay. Or I won't let my friends, abuse me more than once. Or I won't let my girlfriend cross me more than once. But you'll call it love and then let your partner cross you multiple times. And like the Queen said, in the presence of your children, who are watching every move, who are absorbing every moment of that demonstration. See, my mother, when she got strong and healthy, was able to see that some of the weaknesses that I was dealing with in my 30s was about my mother's behavior. And when she got it together, I got it together almost instantly, almost overnight. Almost overnight, my whole life began to transform. Ashe, oh Ashe. I'm gonna be going soon, y'all. So many women are taking blows from that mixed match energy, yes. And of course, they still sleeping together, yes. I know some of y'all don't want to hear this now, that, the man ain't right, he's doing you wrong. The woman ain't right, she's doing you wrong, violating you, violating your children, demonstrating stuff that you don't want. And then y'all still intimate? Y'all still having sex? I don't get it. Now that's spell work right there. That's spell work. When a person believes that they can just hit your G spot, they can get you to do whatever they want. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. Yes, I understand, Queen of Sheba, I understand. Yeah, and I agree with you, and I accept with you. You just need space. Yes, magic is intention, words, and energy. And then I'm gonna add one more word: demonstration. How you act, how you show up. Binding Mighty Changer. I cannot believe this. Yeah, this live is for you and anybody else who's listening. Yes, for you and anybody else who's listening, honey. That's why I keep doing the show. Even when I don't get quite enough feedback, I keep doing it because there's too many people like yourselves and others who let me know off air that the show is of value. What I do, what I say, what I demonstrate here is of value. So I find a way to pick myself up again and keep going. Instead of doing spells to get superficial things, ask your ancestors for guidance and change for your life. I'm going to add transformation for your life. Ask for more discernment. Yeah. Thank you, S. Marie, because I can't handle all these self-proclaimed witches by myself. I need y'all to help me, Okay, my computer wants to restart, but it's going to have to wait. So I'm 30 minutes maybe, and then I'm going to wrap up, y'all. It is not good to identify as something. It affects your evolution. Oh, come on now. Oh, okay. Okay, Goddess Initiative. Yeah, he definitely took an old saying and sort of personalized it. But yeah, and I understood what Joshua was trying to say. I just couldn't read it in that moment. Oh, wow. When the babies offered to help to leave daddy, girlfriend. Oh, wow. Yeah, he'll be fine. And so will you. So will you. And the change you're going to see in your children is going to be something. Basing it on my experience. Basing it on my own experience. And let me be clear, when my mom left my dad finally for the last time, I was on the other side of the country between Denver and California. So their life didn't affect my life necessarily directly or specifically, but that emotional, spiritual energy carries. And then your children start developing negative habits, negative behaviors based on that. So, Queen, you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. Yeah, just shoot me an email. I'll be glad to be with you. Yeah, I'm here for you, beloved. Certainly here for you. Listen, I appreciate everyone here that's in the chat, everyone who's communicating with me today. I certainly do appreciate you. The quantum physics behind the pendulum. Oh, now, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to answer your question, but some of the folks listening is not going to be happy. I don't necessarily agree with how pendulums are being used from that magical perspective. You know, I'm going to answer a question, yes or no, etc. Quantum metaphysically, pendulums are being influenced by the planet, the rotation of the planet, and the positioning of the planet. If you've ever been to the Natural History Museum at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., one of the first things you see coming in is a huge pendulum. The pendulum is hung from the ceiling, the top floor of this huge Smithsonian Museum. Then there's a circular enclosure on every floor, which allows people to, sort of look down and calculate, what's happening with the pendulum. And then if you go in the basement of the Natural Museum in DC, the Smithsonian, where the food court is, the pendulum is actually down there in a room. And so you see it swinging. There's a circle with, sort of markings on the floor. And it's responding to the movements of the earth. And so the pendulum is able to keep time and to keep pace based on the shifts of the earth. An earthquake, a massive earthquake could sort of change it, jar it maybe, cause it to skip a beat. So when we think about pendulums, as they're showing up in New Age practice, I find it to be a questionable practice. There is also the element of your own body energy that could be influencing the swing and the movement of the pendulum. So I don't trust pendulum users who are selling a service. I have a pendulum, so I don't have a problem with people experimenting with it, playing with it, checking it out. But I'm feel some kind of way about people who use them as a part of their practice. They're unpredictable. They're not, they would be better to address earth responses, earth changes, earth questions, as opposed to individual people. So I'm not that, I had a good friend who makes jewelry. Some of y'all know who I'm talking about. She made some things for me and she sent me a pendulum. It's cute, I still got it. I always find a way to use stuff, but I don't use it in divination. I don't use it to answer questions. I'm much more likely to use Obi Abata, Marin Delagoon, other more organized systems of divination to address questions. The law of rhythm and universal laws. Yeah, it's about balance. And again, if you've actually seen a pendulum, I think they might have one in St. Louis too, but I can't remember what museum it is or where it's located. But yeah, it's about the movement of the earth, being in sync with the earth. And we understand we're all earth, we're all connected to and all a part of the earth. And then how it responds to rhythms and disruption of rhythms, whether they be earthquakes or from within the dynamics of the earth, or even from outside, our particular solar system. Yes, well, thank goodness for Mama. We're grateful for Mama. Ashe, give thanks, Marie. Yes, you got the right attitude. Because, like Craig Barnes said, once title yourself or decide on something, particularly when the blessings are still coming, we can miss out if we're not still open to that change, that growth, that accepting of what might still be to come. I'm remaking myself all the time. It's at the bottom of the screen, beloved, and as soon as I hide your comment, it's going to be right in your face. Thank you, Queen Sheba. I certainly appreciate it. Wow, 17, 19, he's in Japan. I'm grateful. Yeah, I have a neighbor who just returned from Iraq, I believe. Got a great government job in the military. Okay, are you talking about the pendulum, Miss Jones? I'm a little bit confused. Yeah, the pendulum, the vibration of the person's voice who's telling the lies. But help me understand what you're saying, because the way I'm reading it, that person would have to be holding the pendulum for their voice vibrations to even affect the pendulum. So I just don't, yeah, not for divination, no, no. Thank you, Val. My sister White, it responds to magnetic pulse and can be manipulated by household magnets by some unscrupulous practitioners. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't trust pendulums. I just don't. Thank you for that, Tony Val. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, beloved, she was stuck here on Katrina's Quinceañera. She was stuck here in New Orleans at a downtown hotel. No food, no water, no power. Yeah, a birthday she will never forget. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and you could have found me because even though we didn't have power, Treme Rec Center was open. Treme was open. The military was here. They set up in Armstrong Park right across the street from my house. All the ice, the water, the resources eventually came directly to this community. And then there are those in this audience who sent resources that I then shared and dispersed to the community that also were sent directly to this particular neighborhood. So I appreciate that. Yeah, August 29th is Katrina's Quinceañera. Yes, indeed. Yes. And Miss Jones, please, thank you. Yes, send me an email and I'll give you very specific literature and documentation about what Tony Val and myself are saying about the pendulums. And when we look at culture, you don't see pendulums in ancient Egypt. The Mayans didn't use pendulums. The Aztecs didn't use them. It's a bit of a new thing. Yeah, it was a ghost town primarily because of the storm. The pandemic has not affected, tourism or the crowd level in the city. Greetings, Baba. It's good to see you. I haven't heard from you. I talked about you early in the show. It's good to see you. Thank you. I'm still here. I'm alive. I survived the hurricane. Um, if you care to know, call me. I'll fill you in. But Alafia, beloved, thank you so much for being with us again. We certainly do appreciate it. Yeah. And I know you've been busy. You made that clear before you went off on your journey. So I hope things are working out for you as well, economically and otherwise. Yeah, this is my first show. This is my first show since the Oton episode. So if you haven't had a chance, I need you to look at that. But before you and I talk, I need you to look at that episode. I need to know that you watched the show. What your opinion of it is, I'm not trying to control that. I just need to know that you watched it. But yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Arisha. Greetings, beloved. Thank you, cousin Daryl. I really appreciate you. I do. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. We had a little bit of foolishness at the top of the hour, and I had to block some folk. You know, local hater who thinks I don't know who they are, but I know exactly who they are. And yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. But thank you. I like getting confirmation that my local community is paying attention. So I'm getting dehydrated now. We got about 12 minutes. Questions, comments, requests. Give me a moment. I'm going to get me something to drink, and I'll be right back. Yes, thank you, Daryl. I am never going to assume that you know anything. I don't assume. So if you would just go back and watch that show before we actually talk about it, and then give me your honest opinion. Give me a moment, y'all. I really need to go and get me something to drink. I'm looking for something I can put on for a minute. Oh, let's see. Okay, give me 3 minutes. I just needed to go get some water. I feel a lot better now. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. Please hit me with your questions, your comments, your requests. Mrs. Jones, I welcome you to look at all of the shows in the archive. Look at any of my past shows, both on YouTube, but also you can listen to my archive in Blog Talk Radio, which predated my actually doing this live format. I started on Blog Talk Radio, I believe, back in 2008. I started doing live broadcasts like this through YouTube and StreamYard, probably January of last year, I believe it was. But that comment was specific to my cousin. He knows what I'm talking about. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Enzo Khalifa, thank you, beloved. We certainly appreciate you and what's going on out in the West Coast. Congo Square West, come on and bring it. We certainly appreciate it. Make sure that you are posting about what's going on with Congo Square, Enzo Khalifa. We have not let up on Mayor Cantrell, not for one moment. And she can spit venom as much as she would like. Just know that it gets back to me. And you probably wanted to get back to me. It's getting back to me, but don't test the ancestors, beloved. Don't test the power of the ancestors. You know, don't test the power of those protected spirits in Congo Square in that park. Don't test it. Don't test it. So I'm grateful, Enzo Khalifa. Thank you, beloved, for what you all are doing there and helping to maintain awareness about what's going on here in other parts of the country and ultimately throughout the world. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks, along with this hurricane. A lot has happened. So I'm grateful. I feel like I need to go back. Yeah, it's been a hell of a weekend. Yeah, it was supposed to be Decadence weekend. Decadence was canceled. That was another reason the city seems so empty, body and mind changer. In fact, if you don't know, every major festival in the city has been canceled, at least until New Year's. And I'm not sure about New Year's and what we typically do here in New Year's, but all the other festivals, the Voodoo Fest, my ceremony that I normally hold around Halloween, all of that has been curtailed or canceled. I will still be assisting individuals. There will still be couples, families that will be coming here to see me, who will have made appointments between now, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. But the bigger ceremonies are not happening, And I think we have a lot of distractions right now from the COVID, but the COVID is still very much real. I get updates, text updates from the state, from the city, from the CDC all the time. The COVID is still very, very real. Some of you are getting lax. Some of you are putting your guard down and then using, I'm vaccinated and I got the COVID. You're using that as an excuse, and creating a great deal of drama in social media around that. Fuck Nicki Minaj. Okay. Yeah. And I said it, she's never going to access me for a reading anyway. So yeah, that's just some BS. Just because you are vaccinated does not mean that you are free to go without a mask. Let's go and hang out and party. Let's go to the club. No, I'm vaccinated and everybody that I know is vaccinated. And I don't leave the house without a mask. I don't eat at restaurants. My mama don't eat at sit-down restaurants anymore. My family cooks at home or has it delivered. You've got to change your lifestyle. And again, we have a unique lifestyle in that we're probably a little more isolated than a lot of you are normally. We live in more rural-like areas, more country-like areas. We naturally don't socialize a whole lot, or have a ton of friends. And then the friends that we do have and socialize with, they following the rules. They playing the COVID game. They understand what this game is. But there's too many of you who are just quick for this just to all be over, you know, and so you broke down and got the vaccine, and you think that now you can travel the country, state to state, city to city. For instance, I know some people who are doing that, going from house to house to house within the dynamics of their family, spreading the COVID. So yeah, the COVID is still a big deal. Don't let Haiti be a distraction. Don't let Afghanistan be a distraction. Don't let the politics be a distraction. Protect yourself. Protect yourself as if, you know, it's the bubonic plague. Protect yourself. This is no joke. I just saw on the news right before the show, Johnson & Johnson now has data and is ready to present a booster shot. They found that people who got the booster within a 24-hour period, I think they got something like 94% coverage. And then they found that people who had the Johnson & Johnson early in the year and will now take the Johnson & Johnson again towards the end of the year will have an even increased greater immune resistance response to the COVID. I know I'm mixing my words, forgive me. So I'm gonna get my second Johnson & Johnson. I'm going to get my second Johnson & Johnson, and I'm good. I'm good. Anyone who saw the in-house appointment knows how good I am. You can't just show up at my door. You got to request an in-house appointment, and then you're going to get that 4-page letter response with what my protocols are, what is to be expected, what to do, what to not to do, so that everybody's safe. Everybody's safe. So I see people riding around, you know, with no mask, you know, or got the mask down here, or even worse, got the mask right here, and your nose is all out. You know, you can't do that and then get on board with the conspiracy theories and Nicki Minaj as if that's somehow real or true. And penises swelling up and all that, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And some of y'all think that's really serious. It's good for getting her ratings and keeping her name alive in the media, but it's not good if you're looking for credible health advice. And I'm not hearing it from any of you home remedyists either. Come on now. It ain't no greater home remedyist than me and Wapani. So I'm not trying to hear take this, take that, drink this, drink that. Y'all are drinking iodine, for God's sake. And someone had the nerve to come on my Instagram and talk smack. Iodine? And then they said something about it was a different kind of iodine, the same iodine, like vaginal iodine. I had never even heard of vaginal iodine. What the hell is that? And why would I drink it? Y'all 90 seconds. Y'all just crazy. Greeting, Goat Rider the Master. Please forgive me if I didn't greet you directly. Thank you so much for your consistency and showing up. I really appreciate you all. I'm glad to be back. I may very well be back tomorrow because I still have a lot more to say. I want to cover some things in more specific detail. But know that I'm grateful for you. Know that I love you. Know that I appreciate you. Know that I forget nobody. Seconds. I don't forget anybody. Whether they do good or do evil, I don't forget anybody. So I'm grateful for those of you who stood up for us, who protected us, who sent resources for us, who sent supplies for us. We are indeed grateful, truly grateful. And our house is your house. Our city is your city. Like the Goddess Initiative, who's already been here, you all are welcome to come and share in this experience. Denise and I are expanding the experience, by the way. Our Sacred Stories will be up and running again October 1st. So, you know, don't wait until October 1st. Start emailing me, emailing Denise now about your desire for your personalized tour experiences. I even have a FEMA representative who's coming here to have our tour experience. Yes, they're supposed to be helping us with our FEMA, and we spent a whole hour talking about the culture. So I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful. Yes, for your birthday weekend, you had all kind of stuff planned. Well, it still is, and it still can be, beloved. Don't just chalk it up for what it is. We can't control the hurricane. Just chalk it up for what it is. You know, it's not like the city went ghost because we knew you was coming. It's not like we all hid because we knew body and mind was coming. You know, blame it on Ida. Blame it on Ida. But you can come back again, and we'll be here for you. I'm leaving you all in peace and love, joy and prosperity, remembering that truly all things work together for the good of those who love God and who acknowledge the ancestors. All is a blessing.